It's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ted McKinley in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And with that sack partner, he just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack artists has been added to. This man now goes to the head of the class. Carve out a new spot for him.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Pushing through the contact. Pressure brought in. Get there for the sack. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And it's fielded at the 34. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll run it now out of the gun. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run again with Richardson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a third down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And able to find Green. And out of bounds all the way down at the 2-yard line. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll try and run it in. It's Richardson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they're
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. 20. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. First down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. On the ground, here's Richardson again. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, an early touchdown pass in that one. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 77 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more.
Stephon Diggs, past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What, 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. On the handoff, they start with Richardson. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down deep into Atlanta territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here that's complete. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground at the 24-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Really good, solid run right there, and they did it from a 4 wide receiver set. And if you're an offensive coordinator, they used to tell people, hey, we're going to throw the football. Now they use 4 receivers on the field to spread things out, give them more running lanes and more options, and also it usually takes the bigger defenders off the field, makes the defense lighter and easier to run against. Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
The Falcons averaged 34 points a game last year, tops in the NFL with that powerful offense, and they're already looking for more. Here's they've got it 1st and 10. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second down following the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be knocked down sideways. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 7-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This just a 24-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they get the field goal, but partner, that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
All right, here we go. Now, check. Patriot.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Russell Wilson hooking up with his guys early and often. 3 first-half touchdowns. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding some room at midfield. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
That one, 28 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 2nd down, goal to go from the 6. They run with Richardson. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it. Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
Now it's Richardson. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Handing to the big guy, let him go, pick up the 1st down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped. And they got it done on that play.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. Now a handoff here to his running back. Able to evade the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside the 5. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the 1st before he's brought down. And goes for a gain of 31.
After that nice game there, for the rest of the game, the defense is going to have to respect the running backs as passing threats as well. Not just play them strictly to run the football. They may be able to get downfield and catch it, too.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Atlanta now coming out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. The Falcons on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. Well, we looked at each other in surprise going for it on 4th down in the 4th quarter with a lead. But, hey, you get it as a coach. You look like a genius.
So the next time we see Coach, he's going to say, well, that's why I coach and that's why you guys talk up there, right? He had the guts to go ahead and go for it, and it paid off.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Falcons. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tech McKinley in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
No gain on the play there. Second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
That good for 19 and a first down. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. There he goes again, and he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard! Leopard! Let's go! Back down in that Philly. Here we go. All right, here we go. Blue landing! Blue landing! Detroit! Detroit! No. Check. Over!
They'll look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let it fly. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons are going to get it at the 20. They're on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, at Bank of America Stadium in Carolina. And it's the Bucs that have taken the lead there late. Jameis Winston, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Seven yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, 2nd down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles.